Since medyo mahaba lang po yung question ko, dumaan po si former Secretary Harry Roque sa Senado, which is wala masyadong na extra, and then sa couple of congressmen nung first interpellation ko. What made you think that, ano po yung iniisip niyo during the time na upo kayo doon and then magka-question na po kay Harry Roque? Ano po yung gusto niyong makuha sa kanya during that time? Because it's very impressive po eh.
What really triggered me to throw that question to him is my concern for law students. Tayo po ay dating full-time law professor dito po sa University of Batangas College of Law, where I also finished my Bachelor of Laws degree. No? He's a law expert, and if the law students will be listening to him, certainly mami-mislead. So, I really had to confront him with the basic concept and definition of an attorney-client relationship, which sobrang na-appreciate ng mga tao, the way I see it, no? Because siguro before that instance, ang iniisip ng marami, because it is a contract, it is an agreement, there has to be something in writing na kailangan paperma si lawyer, kailangan paperma si client, at dapat may agreement as to fees, dapat may payment ng attorney's fees. So that was a very noble opportunity for me to correct the wrong notion of most of the Filipinos and to direct the orientation of law students sa kung anong tamang appreciation about an attorney-client relationship. And as explained during the interpellation, no, you don't need a contract. You don't need attorney's fees. What you only need, two things. The client seeks advice and service, and the lawyer renders the advice and the service. No? When these two elements meet, then at that instance, an attorney-client relationship is created.
Alright. So yan po talaga yung pinaka-nagustuhan ko ng lahat ng tao, lalo sa viewers ko at saka nagko-comment, that you are very, alam niyo po yung gusto niyong tanongin sa kanya to really get to the point, because everyone was like, ano ba, Harry Roque? Try to answer the question, and kayo po talaga yung tumatak talaga sa tao yung they love you very much.
Actually, I had that feeling na, ano ba, ba't ka ba ganyan?
Yes po, bigyan na po yung mga tao.
Which I think is the same feeling that is being experienced by most of the lawyers who were watching him during the time. So, syempre, naalala ko yung mga kabaro natin, naalala ko yung mga teachers ko sa University of Batangas College of Law, naalala ko yung dati kong boss, former Secretary Nani Perez ng DOJ, naalala ko yung mga people inclined in the practice of law. So parang I was trying to talk to myself, ano Jinky, hindi mo ba siya i-confront? So I had the courage to confront him about the definition, about the basic concept. Although, really, medyo mabigat yon, knowing na he's a law expert, he's a legal luminary. At tayo naman po, we are a humble lawyer from the province of Batangas.
For my second question po, one of your press con ata, you mentioned that you are the representative of Second District of Batangas. You're not only creating laws for Batangas itself, but also for national interest. Ano po yung mga bills po ninyo na you would probably say na you're very passionate about? Pinaka-stressful po sa inyo, and the last thing is, inisip nyo maging legacy po ninyo as a congresswoman?
During the time of campaign, I have a 7-point agenda. No? One of this is the amendment to centenarian law. At ito po'y aking ipinangako sa lahat ng mga senior citizens ng Batangas 2nd District. I was trying to explain to them this way, na kung aantayin mo pa ang edad na 100 taon with the mortality age that we have right now, as early as 60s, 50s, even 40s, namamatay na ang tao. So how can you enjoy the 100,000 centenarian incentive na ibinibigay ng gobyerno? Is it really our intention na ibigay ito sa ating mga elderly? Because if so, ibaba natin yung edad. Ilagay natin sa edad na ang ating mga senior nakakakain pa, nakakaintindi pa, at alam pang gumastos ng pera. So on my day 1 of my assumption as Congresswoman of Batangas 2nd District, I immediately filed my own version of the bill. Kaya lang, syempre, we have to understand that the legislature is made up of 2 houses. We have the upper house and the lower house. Bagaman hindi po completely na-consider our version of the bill, we appreciate the fact na inapruban siya ng upper house, inapruban siya ng presidente, and currently, meron po tayong batas na nagbibigay ng incentive for nonagenarians, that is 90s, and octogenarians, 80s. Ito pong term na octogenarian at nonagenarian, alam na alam ng aking mga kababayang senior citizen dito sa Batangas 2nd District. Why? Because this has been the backbone of my campaign when I ran last May 2022 election. Alam nila yan. Kapag octogenarian, 80s, 80 to 89. Nonagenarian, 90 to 99. And my point then was, dapat yung 100,000 na incentive for centenarian, ibaba na sa octogenarian para tunay na mapakinabangan ng ating mga magulang, no? But time and again, we submit to the structure of the Philippine government, no? Merong upper house, merong lower house. Well, the Senate did not adopt my version in toto. So, ang nangyari, ang naging final version ng batas, 80, 85, 90, 95, pag nag-birthday yung senior, they'll be receiving 10,000. Well, I understand that that is a very small amount compared to what I desired, na 25,000 or 100,000 in total, no? Kaya lang, I told myself, mas okay na yung may umpisa. The senators naman are so generous when I requested, can we put an additional provision? Every 2 years, i-adjust natin yung 10,000. And they agreed. This law, an amendment to Centenarian Act, was signed into law already by the President. And I understand that for 2024 budget process, lalagyan na natin ito ng pondo. So we are hoping that by 2025, tunay na mapapakinabangan na ng ating mga magulang.
Thank you po.
Go Philippines po. Sabi nyo kanina, ang dahilan po ng mga nung kayo po ay talagang biglang talagang nag-rise po talaga yung pangalan nyo nun, no? So paano nyo po pinaghandaan itong si Attorney Harry Roque? Did you do an extra mile para po dun solo? Talagang literal na nasa crisis?
No. In all the committee hearings that I attend, there was never an instance that I used the briefers of the committee. There was never an instance that I used the briefer of my legacy staff. What is happening to me during committee hearing, I listen. Nakikinig ako sa interpellations ng aking mga colleagues, fellow members of the committee. From there, nakakakuha ko ng mga questions which I want the resource speaker to clarify. Like what happened to Attorney Harry Roque. Diba? Tinanong muna siya ni... Sino muna nagtanong sa kanya? Congressman Johnny Pimentel. I think he was asked also by Congressman Keith Flores. He was asked also by Congressman Adjong during the first interpellation, diba? And then such time, I felt bothered already. Oh my God, what is happening with the concept of attorney-client relationship? So let me remind him. And so I did remind him of the definition of an attorney-client relationship. And I think all the members of the bar, all lawyers here in the Philippines, know it by heart. Parang nakakapaisip lang. Nakalimutan ba niya yon? I don't think so. Whatever the reason is, it is up to him. Kasi itong definition ng attorney-client relationship, this is something na kahit tulog ang abogado, kahit lasing ang abogado, kahit nagdidelirio ang abogado, I think this is something na hindi makakalimutan ng mga abogado. So, for a law expert like Attorney Roque, I really find it strange. Bakit parang na-overlook ba niya? I don't know.
Do you think po na may iniiwasan itong si Attorney Harry Roque kaya medyo parang nakikita natin na iniimbos niya yung sarili niya doon sa Lucky South 99 during the first hearings sa Congress?
I think that is the only possibility that we can think of, no? Bakit ba siya, why is he going around the bush? Why is he evading the fundamentals of attorney-client relationship? Why can't he admit that the moment there is meeting of the minds, the moment there is the client who solicited the service and there is the lawyer who rendered the service, it is automatically created. Why?
Yeah.
Why can't he admit that? I am one with you in thinking about that possibility. Anong iniiwasan ng ating kaibigan?
Congresswoman, because of your appearances at committee hearings and exchanges with Harry Roque, so you have become a viral sensation in social media.
Really?
There are snippets in YouTube. It got almost 1 million views. And
Really?
then there are snippets on Twitter, got 1 million views. So, how are you dealing with this newfound fame? And yeah, that's the first question.
Actually, hindi ako techie, no? So, I was able to share it with one of you na I don't know how to use TikTok. I don't know how to use IG. And what's the other one?
Use Twitter.
Twitter. But
Yeah.
there are times I tap my YouTube. But the one I constantly use is Facebook, no? So yung sinasabi talaga ng mga tao, nag-trending ka, Mayora. That's how people of Mabini call me, Mayora. Mayora, trending ka. Hindi ko magets. Kasi the only thing I see is the one in YouTube, the one I see in Facebook, no? But if ever talagang nag-trending tayo, then we feel fulfilled because it only means that the people from around the world, should I say, because this is an internet world, appreciated our engagement in the committee, no? Siguro because it's Harry Roque.
Yes.
Because you know why? Since my day one in Congress, I'm always active in all my committee engagements. Kaya lang, syempre ibang level si Harry Roque. And some of my friends, lawyers also, are asking me, where did you get the courage to interpellate Attorney Harry Roque? No? So like what I said earlier, it was my concern for the law students. It was a feeling coming from a member of the bar, which I am sure is the same feeling that the other lawyers are experiencing during the time that Harry Roque was doing his manifestation about attorney-client relationship.
So many are asking about you, a lot of netizens, because you up to today you are still trending. So
Why? Why are we still trending up to
because
today?
of the last hearing about how you grilled Harry Roque. So a lot of netizens are asking, who is this congresswoman? So a quick backstory of how you got into politics and public service, so that our viewers and listeners, they're asking about you and how you got into politics.
I will tell you the whole story. This becoming a congresswoman was never planned, was never intended, no? 2019, it was my husband's second term as mayor of Mabini. He was the one who intended to run for congressman. Kasi yung sinundan ko will be stepping down because that was his third term. 2022, he has to step down kasi last term na siya, no? So, my husband manifested his intention to run for congressman in 2022. So, what happened? As early as 2019, umikot na siya. Inikot na niya yung 6 na bayan. Mabini, Bawan, San Pascual, San Luis, Lubok, Tingloy. Nagpakilala siya tatakbong congressman. And then come December 2019, we were surprised. We were surprised by 2 consecutive fabricated cases of rape against my husband. Kung bakit ko nasabing fake? The complainant is a fictitious personality. The address of the complainant is erroneous. The address of my husband is erroneous. The notices of the prosecutor are all returned to sender. The notices of the court are all returned to sender. And in spite of all those, the court issued a warrant of arrest against my husband. Para yung bombang sumabog sa amin. Of course, the nature of the case of rape, no bail yan. Diba? What is strange, yung palang warrant of arrest na yun was issued as early as parang September pa, 2019. Tapos, may nagbulong lang na kaibigan, December. And I had to take my part to look for that case. Ako pa ang naghanap. Until we were able to locate kung ano yung kaso. And to our surprise, may kaso nga. May warrant of arrest nga. May picture nga ng asawa ko. But the picture was a picture that was grabbed from the internet, no? Walang katabing babae. Siya lang. Nasa campaign. Yun. So, that was a very big blow to us. Kasi, this was during the time na maraming namamatay, you know? I don't know, ha? But this was during the time na highly sensational yung issue ng EJK.
Yeah.
What I did, tinago ko po asawa ko. So, wanted siya. Diba? Kasi lawyer ako eh. I cannot bear the fact na natutulungan ko yung ibang akusado tapos makukulong ang asawa ko for something which he did not do. For 2.5 months, malayo siya sa amin. Tinago ko siya. And I really requested him to follow what I want, no? Kasi ang gusto niya ay hospital arrest daw siya. Sabi ko, no. Sabi ko, ang drama ko pa ganito, for our entire marriage, wala akong ibang ginagawa kung hindi sumunod sa'yo. This time, ikaw ang susunod sa akin. So, tinago ko siya. After 2.5 months, after filing the petition for demurrer to evidence, yata yung final namin, petition to demurrer to evidence. It was granted and the court dismissed his case. I was able to bring him back dito sa Mabini. Naka-assume ulit siya ng mayor ng Mabini. Iyakan ang taga Mabini. Dahil sa height ng emotion na ang mayor namin, muntik lang nakulong, naging wanted, pero nakabalik, no? Kaya lang after 2 weeks, kakabalik pa lang niya, we discovered another case. Rape uli. Same modus. Wala ulit complainant, fake ulit ang place of residence, return to sender ulit lahat ng mga notices. But this time, sinuwerte ako. Why? Inabot ko sa fiscal during the time na wala pang warrant of arrest. So we were able to cause the dismissal of the case at the fiscal's level, no? Ito pong mga pangyayaring ito sa asawa ko. I thought ito na yung magbibigay ng tuldok sa magulong buhay namin sa politika. Why? It happened only because he intended to run for congressman. Diba? intended to run for congressman. So, ang sabi ko sa kanya, kalimutan na natin ang pagko-congressman mo. You just stay here in Mabini, tapusin mo ang termino mo, you run for your third term as mayor. Yan ang sabi ko sa kanya. Alang, habang nagpapahinga kami dun sa Mabini, sa Bagalangit, dito sa aming tirahan sa Mabini, unti-unting nagdadatingan ng taga 2nd District. Leaders from Bawan, leaders from San Pascual, leaders from San Luis, Lobo, and Tingloy. Until they articulated, kung hindi tatakbo si Mayor Beatrix bilang congressman, we need you, Mayora. You continue his battle for congressman of Batangas 2nd District. At first, it was really a very heavy decision for me. Kasi ang priority ko talaga ay ang aking pamilya. My children, my husband, and since I got married, I learned to live within the shadow of my husband. Kung nasan siya, nandun lang ako. Kung saan niya ako kailangan, doon lang ako pupunta. Yun ang naging buhay ko when I married my husband, no? Kaya lang, dadating pala yung panahon na kailangan mong bigyan ng pagpapahalaga yung mga taong nagtiwala sa iyong asawa. So, anong sinasabi ng taga-Bawan? Mayora, paano kami kung wala kaming congressman? Ang sabi ng taga San Pascual, Mayora, paano itong mga leaders na umasa na sa iyong asawa? Ang taga Tingloy, Mayora, paano na po yung mga plano ni Mayor Beatrix para sa bayan ng Tingloy? Taga San Luis, Mayora, paano na po yung ipinangako ng inyong asawa? Nakilalanin ang aming bayan sa kanyang panahon. Yung taga Lobo, paano na ho ang pangarap namin magkaroon kaming kababayan na congressman? So, I know I had the moral obligation to all these people. Kasi sila yung mga tao unang tumanggap at nagtiwala sa aking asawa. So, my becoming a congresswoman started with returning the gratitude to all the people na nagtiwala sa aking asawa nung panahon na siya ang tatakbong congressman. Yes, ang asawa ko po ang sadyang kandidato, but because of the challenges that was thrown to us in view of his intention to run for congressman, I was forced to stand up and continue his battle for congressman of Batangas 2nd District. Sabi ko, perhaps this is God's will. Kaya napunta tayo sa mundong ito.
Okay, JDB ho. JDB Comments Pro Filipino. Actually, I get goosebumps sa storya ninyo. So, you always stand up, okay, para sa mga tao. And then, eto lang yung tanong, balik tayo kay Harry Roque. Kasi ganito,
paborito mo si Harry Roque.
Paborito niya kasi tayong i-fake news eh. So, pareho tayo ng advocacy, itama natin yung minamali nila. Nung nilectura din nyo, yung sinabi ko sa commentaries ko nilectura din nyo si Harry Roque kasi he was denying na this is beyond my expertise. Nung ginawa nyo yun,
That was the second interpretation.
Actually, yung first din eh.
First din?
Yung first din.
Beyond his expertise?
Sinabi niya rin na, hindi, yung sa first hindi. Yung sa second.
Yeah.
Pero pareho nilecturean nyo eh.
Oh,
about the principle in the first one.
Okay.
Diba? Ngayon, hindi ho ba kayo natakot na atakihin kayo ng mga full moronics?
That is why I always anchor all my questions on the provisions of law and the Philippine jurisprudence. Something which you cannot question. Diba? Kasi kapag ang ginamit mo sa interpellation mo ay authority sa batas, who can question you? You are citing a provision of the law. You are citing a Supreme Court decision. Who can question you? Tsaka ako po as a lawyer, it has been my practice. I do not go against the person. I go against the issue. So, kung napansin niyo po, what I'm trying to establish is the fact and the issue. But I do not go into the personal issue of the person that we are interpolating. For as long as I can, because I cannot tell, mamaya in the future committee hearings, I might be tempted to go beyond, the fact and the issue of the case already, no? Kasi minsan, di mo rin masabi yan eh. Minsan natetep ka, sabi nga ng ibang kongs, minsan nakakagigil na. That's why sometimes they cross the boundaries, no? Although, appreciated ko talaga yung aking napakahuhusay na chairman. Hey, shout out sa mga chairman ng Quadcom, no? Boss ko po lahat yan. I am really overwhelmed because I am a neophyte. This is my first term, and I was graced by the opportunity to work with the highly respected members of the 19th Congress. Sino yan? Chairman Dan Fernandez of Public Order and Safety. Actually, hindi ako member dun eh. Deputized lang ako ni SDS. No? Chairman Ace Barbers of Dangerous Drugs. I am a member. Chairman Paduano of Public Accounts. I am the Vice Chairperson. And Chairman Abante of Human Rights. I was about to be deputized until biglang na-create na yung Quad Committee. So, no need for deputization because all members of each of the 4 committee will automatically or became members already of the Quad Committee. No? So, salamat po kay Speaker, salamat po kay SDS, salamat po sa ating leadership, at salamat po sa ating chairman ng 4 na committee sapagkat pinagtiwalaan nyo po si Beatrix, a neophyte, a first-termer congresswoman.
Last question. Labas tayo kay Harry Roque.
Huwag ka mo maingay. Nagre-record sila. Okay.
Gusto ko lang pong itanong, dahil since you mentioned the SMR, si Speaker, how do you find his kind of leadership ni Speaker?
Sa totoo lang, ang sipag-sipag niya. At ito palagi ko sinasabi sa kababayan ko. During the time of BBM, during the time of Speaker, during the time of this administration, nakita at naramdaman nyo ang pera ng gobyerno. Diba? We have the AX, we have the TUPAD, we have the AKAP. Pag nagbabagong Pilipinas kami, may sibol, may isip, lahat. Ayuda yan. Diba? Mahirap man ang buhay. It is really inspiring to see. Nakitang-kita ng mga tao ang resources ng gobyerno. Something na hindi ko naramdaman at nakita nung mga nagdaang panahon. Kayo ba nakakakita ng mga payout in the past administration? I don't remember. I don't recall any. Pero sa panahon ni BBM, sa panahon ni Speaker, sa panahon nating lahat, what I am certain, lahat ng pera ng gobyerno, naramdaman at nakarating sa mga tao.
Okay, thank you.
Po kong RJ Angeles po. So, ano po ba mga projects niyo dito po sa 2nd District? Ano pa po yung future niyo po na proyekto dito po sa 2nd District po kung niyo po ilo-launch?
Doon muna tayo sa ongoing, no? We have an island here. We call it Tingloy. Pasyalan nyo nga.
Tingloy, yeah.
Yeah, why not? The only access road is Mabini. The only access way is Mabini. No? Ito for the longest time, deprived ng opportunity. As a matter of fact, sabi ko nga sa mayor nito, if we will not work together, darating ang panahon, mauubos ang tao sa Tingloy. Bakit? Walang kali. Walang maayos na ospital. Walang college institution. Walang hanap buhay. Walang opportunities. So, when I was still campaigning for myself candidate for Congresswoman. Ito po'y ipinangako ko sa taga-Tingloy. Sa panahon ni Beatrix, tatapusin ko ang kalyeng iikot sa buong isla. We will call it Tingloy Circumferential Road. With the support of President BBM and Speaker Romualdez, yun pong kalyeng ipinangako ko, 4 na barangay ng butas. And hoping na tayo po'y makatapos ng 9 na taon. Dahil ang pangarap ko po sa aking pagiging congresswoman, kilalanin ang Tingloy. Hindi lang sa lalawigan ng Batangas, kung hindi sa buong Pilipinas. Tingloy is part of the Verde Island Passage, which is one of the important bills which I passed already. Ano ba yung VIP? VIP is the center of marine biodiversity of the world. This is the hub, this is the breeding ground, this is the home to the most number of marine species of the whole world.
Wow.
Ang dagat po ng Tingloy at ang dagat ng Mabini are both parts of the Verde Island Passage. Well, I cannot comment anything about Mabini because my husband has completed all the infra program dito. Nakita nyo naman, ang gaganda ng kalye dito, di ba? It was during his time. Pero with Tingloy, the reason why I am fulfilled as a congresswoman, kasi nabigyan ako ng pagkakataon na tulungan ang Islang Bayan. And I'm very positive. The moment the Tingloy Circumferential Road is substantially completed, dadagsa ang maraming resort, dadami ang trabaho, lalaki ang kita ng mga tao, at wala ng taga-Tingloy na aalis dun sa isla. Ang vision ko po, this is a reality, ha? Listen, ang panahon ko, lilipas. Ang panahon ng presidente, lilipas. Ang panahon ng mga mayors, lilipas. Ang panahon nating lahat ay lilipas. But I want to be remembered na sa panahon ni Beatrix, umunlad at nakilala ang Islang Bayan ng Tingloy.
Ano na lang.
Ang tanong ko po, napapansin po kasi namin na lagi kayo may mga kasamang teachers.
Teachers? Yeah.
Sa
You mean the congressional visit?
Yes.
Not only teachers. For Peace, BNS, BHW, minsan nga Kamarites. Bakit? Ha? Bakit? This is my concept of the House of Representatives. Kami mga congressmen, we are there because of these people. Di ba? We are the voice, we are the representative. In other words, kung wala ang mga taong ito, whom we represent, wala kaming congressmen, wala kaming congresswomen. So my real appreciation about the House of Representatives, it is not the House of Representatives. Indeed, it is the House of the people. And because of that appreciation, I started this congressional visit. Because that is my avenue of sharing to the people of Batangas 2nd District everything that we have in Congress. Because in my heart, everything that we have there, they rightfully belong to the people. No? The purpose of my congressional visit is to give an experience to my kababayan for one day in their life. Naranasan nila how to become a congressman. No? Nagkakaroon kami doon ng parang committee hearing. I make them stay in the committee room. I serve them with meal catered by the official caterers of the Congress. Pinaupo ko sila doon sa upuan ng congressmen. I allowed them to use the same microphone we use for committee hearing. And during the committee hearings, I address them as honorable congressmen and congresswomen. No? Kasi my objective for the congressional visit, maranasan ng aking mga kababayan dito sa Batangas yung karangalan na ibinigay nila sa akin bilang congresswoman. Because after all, kung wala sila, Kung hindi dahil sa kanila, wala ako dun sa Kongreso. At ito palagi din sinasabi ni Speaker, this is the house of the people. Naririnig niyo ba siya?
Yeah.
Minsan nga, we introduce the Speaker of the people. Di ba? Kasi we have the same appreciation. Even our Speaker appreciates the House, not as House of Representatives, but instead, House of our kababayan. No?
So, itatanong ko lang po kasi.
Kung ilan na ang nadala ko doon.
Ang ano po kasi, wag kung sakali po na inalok po sa inyo yung pagiging DepEd or CHED Secretary, may possibility po ba natatanggap dito?
Well, DepEd Secretary is a very noble position, no? Kasi sa iyo nakasalalay ang kinabukasan ng ating mga kabataan. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Because not everybody is given the opportunity to become the pilot, ang pinakatimon, di ba? Captain of the ship ng journey ng ating mga guro at ng ating mga mag-aaral. And I think that is a very perfect avenue for a public servant to be able to help the people, the Filipino people, in a maximum level.
The second question.
Ano daw?
Marami po kasi sa mga nanonood sa inyo ngayon ang hindi masyadong maalam sa batas. Mali niyo po ba ipaliwanag ang separation of powers?
Okay. Separation of powers is one of the fundamental principle of the Philippine government, no? That is basic in a democratic system of government. By principle of separation of power, mayroon pong three important branches ang ating gobyerno. One is the legislative, second is the executive, the third is the judiciary. Ang tatlo pong ito ay may kanya-kanyang kapangyarihan. Bawal mag-overlap, bawal saklawan, and by legal term that I used during the interpolation, bawal mag-encroach sa hindi mo naman kapangyarihan. Okay? To the legislative belongs the power to make laws. Tayo po ang gumagawa ng batas. That is the Senate and the House of Representatives, the upper house and the lower house, because we are bicameral. Okay? To the executive is the power to implement the law. Pag nagawa na yung batas ng Congress, Presidente, Cabinet Secretary, Executive Offices, Mayors, Governors, ipatupad nyo po ito. Okay? And then to the Judiciary, the moment nagkaroon ng issue, controversy, they will be the one to interpret the law. Okay? So, bakit ko po ito in-erase during the last interpellation? Because in my personal appreciation, EO 13, which provided for online gambling, is an act of legislation. Because that is something which is not provided yet in the statutory law which created PAGCOR. Kung gusto mong gumawa ng batas about gambling, online gambling, you should have told the Congress. Because that power belongs to the Congress. But what happened, they did not refer to the Congress. Instead, they issued EO 13, a presidential issuance, an act of the executive. And that is why I said, did you legislate? Did you encroach upon the power of the Congress? Because this is something which is not provided in the Legislative Act of the Congress. No? And it is really my personal appreciation. Because I cannot speak for the others. But there are lawyers, there are justices who were calling me and conforming to my position about the argument on principle of separation of powers. It is really my appreciation, it is really my humble opinion that when they issued EO 13, they crossed the lines. They encroached upon the powers of the Congress. Something na dapat ibinigay nila sa Kongreso para Kongreso ang nagpasa ng batas about online gambling. I hope I was able to explain it well in a level that the Filipino people will understand, no? Kasi, nung kasi ako'y guro pa, that is always the challenge, no? You know the principle, you know the law, that is one thing. How you communicate it is another thing. So, the parameter which will measure if you were able to explain it well is to ask the people, naintindihan niyo po ba yung sinabi ko? I hope you did.
Next. So, pinag-usapan natin kanina tungkol sa edukasyon. Ngayon po may mga subscribers type followers po na tayo. Isa po daw kayo nag-aaral ng law. At ano po daw may bibigay yung advice sa kanila bilang panibagong estudyante at law. At ano magiging guide para sa kanila sa maging katulad po daw ninyo.
Ako po ay dito nagtapos sa University of Batangas College of Law. I wanted sana to study in UP. I wanted sana to study in Ateneo during that time. Kaya lang po, hindi po kaya ng tatay ko. Rest in peace sa aking ama. No? But I can still recall what he said. Hindi natin kaya kung sa Batangas ka pa, sa Manila ka pa mag-aaral. So maraming salamat at nabuksan ang law school dito sa lalawigan ng Batangas. Maraming salamat po sa aking former boss at sa aking dean, whom I know ay talagang i-guide po ako. Our former Justice Secretary Danny Perez. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga naging law professors ko. And I wish to include also maraming salamat sa mga naging estudyante ko. Because up to this day, I know bahagi kayo ng kabuuan ng pagkatao ko. No? Ang payo ko naman dito sa ating mga nag-aaral ng batas, may kasabihan, pag gusto, maraming paraan. Pag ayaw, maraming dahilan. Pag in English ko yan, I would translate it to, life is never a destiny. It is always a choice. If as a law student, you're choosing to become studious, you're choosing to be disciplined, you're choosing to be persevering, you're choosing to be hardworking, you're choosing your study of law over your social life and anything else, then you're choosing to become a lawyer someday. No? Hindi po pwede sa study of law ang pabanjing-banjing lang. Day one, do it seriously. Because when you reach the bar exam, everything will be a flashback of what you studied for the entire law school. No? Believe it. Believe me. Kasi yan po ang naranasan ko. Kung hindi ka seryoso, from day one of your law school, you will not make it. So sa lahat ng mga first year pa lang sa law school, do it seriously. Study very well. Memorize if you can. Because sometimes reading is not enough. Well, it depends on the student. Kung anong style of studying mo. Pero sa akin, I'm really into deep reading and memory work because that is how I retain the principles in my heart and in my mind. No? Maring hindi ko na siya kayang i-recite in verbatim the way I did when I was a law student yet. Pero the principle, the basic, is strongly etched here and here. Hello sa lahat ng law students! May sasabihin pa ako sa lahat ng law students. Matuwa kayo kung napupuyat kayo. Matuwa kayo kung nahihirapan kayo. Matuwa kayo kung maraming binabasa kayo. At matuwa kayo kung maraming minememorize kayo. Because the only way to becoming a lawyer is you choose the long, windy, and rocky road. Walang shortcut. Walang instant. Ang instant lang, lucky me.
Kami po meron lang one short question. Nagkakaroon, I think, as my opinion, as a commentator lang, that the popularity that is being built around you, or the myth that is now becoming Congresswoman Beatrix is grounded upon the idea that you are like an anti-Harry Roque missile.
Oh,
But because I feel that with the coming of the Quadcom, mas marami pang dadating ng mga resource speakers and that you were not really, parang, di ba, yung impression is that safe to assume that it's ganun talaga or hindi naman kasi talaga ganun. There is no intent to just be an anti-Harry Roque missile. But what is behind, what is the motivation behind the stellar performances that we did see?
I am against all the illegal activities surrounding Pogo. Have you seen the pictures?
Yes.
Diba? Di nga namin ma-share sa public eh. Ganon ka morally shocking. I'm not against Harry Roque. I am against the Pogo-related crimes. And I do not understand kung bakit hindi nila pinag-aralang mabuti ito. Kasi when we speak about Pogo, it is a Philippine offshore gaming operation. Narito yung kumpanya ang pumupusta galing sa ibang bansa. 'Di ba? So, etong kumpanyang ito, ang sabi nila pag-aari ng mga Pilipino, but we were able to unfold. Puros Chinese nationals. Hindi Filipino yung corporation. No wonder, ang kanilang mga empleyado, Chinese nationals din. And the thing is, sila-sila, dumayo ng away dito sa atin. Yung mga perpetrators ng crime, Pogo-related crimes, they're Chinese nationals. Ang victims, Chinese nationals din. Kaya dapat yung Chinese government natutuwa sa atin. Kasi we express so much sympathy and concern para sa mga nabiktima ng mga Pogo operator. I'm not against Harry Roque. I am against the Pogo-related crimes because they are really morally shocking. I am hoping and praying na wala akong makikitang picture o video na ang naging biktima ay Pilipino. Because to this day, ang na-unfold naming mga documents, ang victim, lahat Chinese nationals din. Or foreign nationals, should I say.
Last question. Labas ito kay Harry Roque, no? Since nag-viral kayo sa napakagandang atake ninyo sa Congress, maraming mga Filipino sinasabi na comedy ang Senado. At maraming nagsasabi na mas bagay kayo doon.
Uy.
Senado o Kongreso po sa 2025?
You know what? Fan ako ni Risa Ontiveros, ha? I find her so bright. I find her so dedicated. And I find her so strongly willed. At fan din ako ni Senator Win kasi nakakarating ako sa opisina niyan. Sipag-sipag. Talagang nag-aaral, nakikita ko yung kanyang mga notebooks. Alam mo kaming mga members of the legislative, both the Congress and the Senate, kami may iba't ibang field na pinanggalingan. No? And I must say, kung anumang naging exposure naming lahat before this time na kami naging congressmen at saka senators, ito'y lahat ay nakakatulong sa amin in our job to legislate for the Philippine nation. No? So, if you will be asking me to choose Senate or Congress, of course, I will choose Congress. Dahil mahal ko ang taga Batangas 2nd District. At salamat po sa mga nagre-raise nitong mga kwentuhan na to, should I say, na si Beatrix ba, si Luis ba, dapat tumakbo ng senador. Salamat po sa inyong appreciation. But in all sincerity, I'm happy being the Congresswoman of Batangas 2nd District because I love very much the people of Mabini, Bawan, San Pascual, San Luis, Lubo, and Tingloy. I am truly fulfilled in my job as representative of Batangas 2nd District.
Do we have time for one more question?
One more question.
Last question ko po. I've been reading a lot since I posted your video from that first interpellation. Many of our commentators or people who've been commenting there, you're a very refreshing person. Kasi they miss MDS and they see MDS on you. When you're very calm man. And they want you to be a senator, one of those, which natanong din po.
Alam mo, idol ko din yan eh. Diba? As a matter of fact, siya yung isa sa mga naka-inspire sa akin when I was still a student of law. But Miriam Defensor is Miriam Defensor. Marami pa tayong bigas na kakainin before we become one like her, no? Salamat po sa inyong mga comparative comment about me and Miriam Defensor. I'm truly humble, but she's really one of a kind.
But the real question is po, what will be expecting more from you po? More po ba na mga ganitong mga banat or yung kalmado pero very educational yung mga tanong po ninyo, which is a lot of Filipinos are really like
Alin ba mas gusto nyo? Gusto nyo ba maging kong akop ako? Kaya ako natutuwa kasi dito sa mga boss ko, sa mga chairman ko, no? Talagang ramdam mo yung kanilang passion about the investigation. Alam mo, these people, they have earned the title already. They've been there for so long a time already. We are a neophyte, we are a beginner. I wish to maintain my being educational to the people as we go along the investigation of these pogos. After all, Harry Roque is Harry Roque. He's one of our legal luminaries, and I still respect him, no? Even when I am doing this investigation. Minsan lang, nakaka-bother din. Okay?
All right, thank you.
So much for your message
Last message sa mga kadistrito nyo po, sa mga viewers.
At in-expect nila sa inyo po sa Congress.
Okay, for the ongoing investigation, of course, this is a quadcom, no? Ang gagaling ng apat na chairman, no? So, I've been telling them, let us organize the flow of our investigation kasi baka sa sobrang gagaling nyo, magsabog-sabog yung ating line of questions. Let us focus muna, kunyari, to one topic, dangerous drugs, if dangerous drugs. And then we proceed, like, for example, to misuse of public funds, which happened in Pampanga. And then after that, perhaps we can proceed to POGOs. And along with dangerous drugs pala, we have the human rights. We can do the investigation side by side with EJK by the Committee on Human Rights. No? Please expect na ito pong quadcom na ito ay magtatrabaho ng puspusan because we really want to unfold what happened among these four controversies and issues, serious issues surrounding the Philippines. No? We are really determined to find out who are the people responsible and to make them accountable to the Filipino people. Hindi po pwede na napapaikot lamang ng ilan ang batas. If we ordinary people ay answerable sa batas, even the people in the higher level of the government, be it the present or the former, they should be made answerable as well. So rest assured to the Filipino people na kami pong bumubuo ng Quad Committee ay magtatrabaho ng puspusan at hindi po kami titigil hanggat hindi nagkakaroon ng kalinawan ang naging ugat, pangyayari at dulo ng apat na serious na issue na hinaharap natin ngayon dito sa bansang Pilipinas. EJK, dangerous drugs, misuse of public funds, and all the POGO-related activities.
Okay, thank you. Thank you po.
Thank you.